Hi guys, we are live. We got a lot of things to talk about today. A lot of things, and I'm going to have my special guest, of course, master of the multiverse, Matt Horwich. We on. Just making sure there. I almost get paranoid. He just tried to call me a second ago. I'm going to call him back, and let's get this going. What's up with everybody? I don't see a live alert on here. On my thing, there we go. Fights of Friends is live. Okay, here we go. I'm calling Mr. Matt Horwich. Well, hello, Mr. Horwich. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. God bless the multiverse. It's a beautiful day in Laguna Beach at the Starbucks. Been reading about computers. They say computers are taking over everything, so next heroes are probably going to have to know that stuff.
They certainly are, man. I just seen a thing, actually, not to get too far off track, but are we live?
That could be 200 times stronger than steel.
Just a second there. Can I? Yeah.
Computers.
Yeah. Can everybody hear good here? Just a second. Let me make sure. There it is. All right, we got 9 people in here. Okay, sweet. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I know you're going to be coming up my way here real soon in the Pacific Northwest, like next week.
Yeah, it'll be great to see old friends and everything. Try to inspire and educate together. And God bless everyone doing good things and hard work and wise investments, coming back smarter than we were yesterday. Computers and all that stuff, that looks like it's taking everything over. So the next heroes are probably going to have to know about that. God bless heroes, champions, inventors, beautiful women, children, old people, puppies and dolphins, flower hat jellyfish. I'm on the internet.
Hey, I want to talk.
Shovel-nosed guitar fish, also.
Of course, can't forget those. Hey, I want to talk some MMA with you. I know you got a chance. When I first contacted you, we were going to talk about the whole thing going on with Khabib and Tony Ferguson and Max Holloway. And then you see that article I sent you. Conor just can't keep from going insane. Did you read that? What's going on with this guy?
About that, and I think I might agree with Conor McGregor on it. Now,
what?
Does Conor McGregor act like an idiot all the time because he's a champion? No. But can he attack the bus and say that it's his belt? Well, technically, he didn't lose it. Conor McGregor's earned the right to be a little bit of a rock star, I'd say. He is a great champion.
I think he's earned the right, definitely, to be a bit of a rock star. I'm not with you on the behavior that he had in the bus because it affected other fighters' fights. He drug Artem Lobov, who was on the undercard, in with him. Now he's kicked off of his fight, so he's not going to get paid. And now you got Michael Chiesa.
Well, did he physically touch any of the other fighters?
Well, he threw things through the bus and cut them with glass. He cut Michael Chiesa's forehead open. Michael Chiesa may not be able to fight.
Oh, shit. Well, that changes things. Yeah, I didn't read the whole write-up on it. I was studying, what smart people are learning about the future and everything, and the history of great inventors, but I didn't know that part of it. Well, that kind of changes my outlook on it, because I just saw he attacked the bus, and I thought, he's a rock star if he attacks the bus. If no one was hurt, no one should have too big of a complaint.
Yeah,
if he actually messed up fighters' fights, then that changes it.
Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, actually. It looks like the New York police want to talk to him. Who knows when he's going to be getting the cage again. Dana is very, very, very upset with him. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fines, a suspension. I mean, I would argue the thing is, like, I mean, I kind of have to disagree with you a little bit on the belt too, because I mean, he hasn't fought in the octagon in like a year and a half. I mean, how long are we supposed to wait for him to defend his belt?
Yeah, well, that is true. I could see that side of it, and that changes my opinion. The new data on the situation that he actually messed up the other fighters' fights. I guess it's not as bad as hitting a pregnant woman, but in John Jones's defense, he probably didn't know she was pregnant. And he's young and dumb, and no one's perfect.
Yeah.
Hopefully they learn from their mistakes, do better things, set a better example for the kids, but everyone messes up sometimes. People care about it more when it's famous people.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. Like I said, I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure. I mean, you've obviously had some pressure. You've had a little success. You've been in the UFC. Not, you weren't the level of star as Conor, of course, but do you think that you ever were maybe a little impulsive and did some things that you wouldn't do because of fame and attention?
It'd be easier to be humble when we're successful. Like, all right, thank God I'm a millionaire champion and can take care of my wife and kids for life. And I agree with everyone especially now that I hear those details. Like, Conor McGregor should set a better example and be more thankful to be able to take care of his wife and kids for life with the $100 million he made on the boxing match. I see his point. He thinks he should get paid more in MMA. Hopefully everyone sees that kind of money in MMA. That would be great.
Oh, absolutely. I'm always for making the fighters get, having the fighters get paid, and Conor's done as good or better job of promoting himself than anybody in the history of the game. I mean, that's not an argument for sure. Hey, got a question from one of the people on my stream. They were asking how the planning for the fishing trip was going to Alaska. You still planning on that?
Apply in person at some of the places in Seattle and just try to get better at looking at my options carefully, choosing wisely, making stuff happen. Because that would be a good chunk saved up towards getting some land. And he who farms his land's wise, it says in Proverbs in the Bible. And I think the more we all get smart about things and farming our land, good agriculture. I'm learning about precision agriculture, where they use droids and satellites to grow the plants just right, and they even got robots that help and everything. And that can do a lot of good in the world. The Netherlands have the record for growing the most food in a small space. And as we get more and more overpopulated and live longer, that's probably going to do a lot of good, even if not growing good nutrition and good health and pushing our limits athletically and intellectually. The good thing about computers taking over is they can force us to get smarter about things to keep up.
Absolutely. Some of that AI stuff scares me a little bit, I will admit. But
well, what regulations should be put on it? I mean, that's important for us all to think about. If the robots overrun the military, that's going to be bad, graphene robots. But what do? Say, hey, stop making too many robots or we won't like you.
Adam says this isn't Mike. Am I high? No, I got a really bad throat cold. That's why I want to thank you, Matt, for coming on this week. I appreciated it. I kind of needed somebody to help carry my voice. I've been pretty sick, so I appreciate you stepping in.
Well, it's always an honor to inspire and educate together and have some good philosophy and conversation. Philosophia means the love of wisdom.
Sure, man. Somebody was just talking about, this is a good subject, I guess, that Nick Diaz, they're saying, how long should Conor McGregor get suspended for? Because Nick Diaz got suspended for 4 years for marijuana, which I think is completely ridiculous. I mean, what's your stance on that? Do you have a stance?
Yeah, I think weed should be legal. I agree with the liberals on that. I agree with the conservatives that law law-abiding citizens should be able to have guns and serve and defend their families and be ready should evil ever rise again. So I've never heard both of them are wrong.
Yeah, I just...
Hopefully as many good things happen in the world. But the stance on weed and Nick Diaz, he shouldn't have been suspended. I mean, alcohol does a lot more harm in society than marijuana, as well as cigarettes and everything. So I think athletes should try to be the best example they can be for the kids and everything. But it's just ridiculous to have them suspended for something that's not a sports-enhancing drug.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't consider it a performance-enhancing drug. I mean, some people, you know, obviously claim some medical benefits from it. I think there are some medical benefits, but what are we going to start banning vegetables and vitamins? That's kind of ridiculous. But
I would say if God gave man every seed-bearing plant, then who made it illegal?
Yeah, exactly. Who are they to tell us what to do? But let's get back to MMA for a minute. The original conversation I contacted you about. Conor McGregor, Tony Ferguson's out, freak trip over a wire, and then Max Holloway steps in last minute. What do you think of this, man? I think Khabib is just a machine, and I think Max Holloway's a stud, too.
I love Max Holloway. He's a great fighter. He seems like a really good and honorable soldier of God. So I'm pulling for him a lot on it. They're both great fighters. I've been studying the technical breakdowns of Max Holloway on YouTube, and those guys do a great job of educating everyone on what the fighters do and what really happens. His double-step jab, yeah, I hope he does awesome in the fight. It's going to be a great fight. Tony Ferguson's the man. I've rolled with him, and he's always a super nice guy. And it's great to see him as a champion doing amazing things. But he's going to do great either way. It's a bummer getting injured that close to the fight. I don't know how he managed that.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. A lot of people are asking a lot of questions as to what was going on. Why were those wires there? Dana even kind of questioned him. Why was he wearing sunglasses inside? Well, I know the answer to that, and so does he. He has to wear prescription sunglasses because he has light sensitivity.
So Conor McGregor's not suspected of being involved in that?
Oh, no, not as far as I know. Who knows, though, at this point, man? Who would have ever thought he'd have went insane and pulled all this crap? So
yeah, well, a bunch of craziness before the card.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for Max Holloway, though. He is a great fighter. Conor McGregor's been a great champion a long time, but I think Max Holloway might be hungrier now. Conor McGregor made his $100 million. Hard to say. I thought the same about Cormier and John Jones, but I think this one's different.
Yeah, no, that was a great fight. Those are two great guys, and these are two great guys. We're gonna have a great weekend. I mean, it's a solid card from top to bottom. I think Khabib's wrestling, honestly, I think it's the best in all of MMA. So how do you see Max winning this then?
Well, if he can have good enough jiu-jitsu and get back up to his feet, and if he could land the right punch, I don't know. Khabib might take him down and beat him up. I mean, they're both great fighters, great champions. I like Max Holloway a lot, though. Seems like a good, honorable soldier of God. Khabib, I'm sure he's a great guy, does good things for his family and everything. And I'm sure they're both great guys, great athletes. Right now, I'm a big fan of Max Holloway, even though I like to see the grappler and wrestler wings. That's what I've been successful with. I've been studying the technical breakdowns where they explain what he does in the fights. I'll have to study more of Khabib, so I haven't seen the technical breakdowns on him yet or film studies. I'll try to get around to that. I should have got around to it before the fight so we could have a smart conversation about it, but it's hard to know everything.
Yeah, it is. I spend a lot of my day going through MMA articles and updates and all these things. Speaking of updates, we got an update on Michael Chiesa. He suffered several facial lacerations. And it just says Michael Chiesa's fight against Anthony Pettis is in limbo. So it hasn't been announced whether or not he'll fight for sure, but I wasn't sure where the cuts were, and apparently there are lacerations on his face, so that makes things much worse.
Well, obviously, if you're cut, you can't fight with the cuts, or else they might open up in the fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. It depends on how bad he's cut. Yeah, definitely depends on how bad he's cut. Got a question from one of the viewers from your last interview that was listening. They were asking where you were planning on having the farm at when we were talking about the jiu-jitsu and comic book farm. My kids like that idea, by the way, too.
Oh, right on. Awesome. Yeah, I thought that was one of the better ones. Inspire and educate the next superheroes and inventors. And when I would have the farm, I could be happy a lot of different places. I mean, Southern California, there's a lot of good opportunities to work on filming, and you can get some land for like $20,000 out like 50 minutes away from the main area. And they got a good land out towards Temecula. A lot of unique desert creatures, could learn about farming and everything. New Orleans could be cool too. There's a lot of New Orleans is a unique city. Louisiana could have a farm somewhere by there, maybe both. Land's always a good investment.
Hey, could even come back to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. The more of us get farms and follow in the great inventors' footsteps, I think the better it is for the people. We like to think we're so smart in all these cars and everything we didn't invent, but Carl Benz invented the first automobile in 1890, and Alessio Volta the first and Joseph Niepce made the first photograph in 1825, found silver nitrate to capture a photo, reflected the camera obscura for 8 hours with the heliograph reflection. And Reginald Fezzinet sent the first radio broadcast Christmas Eve 1906. It was peace and goodwill for humankind from Luke and Holy Night. Get to make a bigger alternator than anyone ever made, hook it up to the biggest microphone, and Grant, Massachusetts sent the first radio broadcast to all the ships, and they radioed back in Morse code. They got it. Now, Philo T. Farnsworth, he got the idea to send the electrons to the TV screen with the cathode ray tube. First electric television, 1927.
Yeah, a lot of guys a lot smarter than me. But I'm gonna say something in passing real quick and then move to the next subject. Just I don't know anybody who's seen or heard. Frankie Edgar's father has passed away, so our condolences to him and his family at this tough time. Frankie Edgar's father passed away.
From what? Do they know?
They didn't give a lot of details yet. I mean, it's just happened, so I'm sure he just said it was a short-lived illness, so it doesn't sound like he suffered.
Well, I wonder how old he was. My father passed away as well. He was early 60s, so at least he didn't die super young. I mean, some people that are healthy and athletic live till 80, so it'd have been nice if he could have got another 20 years, but it's part of life. God bless all of us honoring like our fathers and friends and people that pass on's memory by giving our best shot. And champions always go one more round. God bless Frankie Edgar on winning the next round, doing good things. He's a great champion.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that you lost your father early. I'm gonna be a wreck when that happens. I don't deal with bad news so well. But so going into something a little happier in MMA, I know you know this guy. You see Brock Lesnar's coming back.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Maybe they'll get that fight together with John Jones now. That'd be an interesting one for sure. He might be strong enough to take John Jones down if he doesn't stand around like an idiot like he did in the Alistair Overeem fight. Now, I don't want Brock to hear that and get pissed off, but it's the truth. And I wish everyone good success, inspire and educate together.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's how we get better, is from criticism and picking performances apart, constructive criticism. And yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Jones. I thought things were going good. Then he went in front of the California State Athletic Commission, and that was just a train wreck. I mean, he admitted to basically several illegal things. He had nothing for him, and he'd asked for a long extension. So I don't know what USADA's going to say to him, but it's not going to be good.
What if now I haven't been following John Jones. They said he tested positive for sure.
Yeah, it's very strange.
A reasonable doubt.
Well, it's very strange because maybe somebody can refresh my memory of what the drug. I want to say it's Turnbull. It was he tested negative the day before. He tested negative one day, positive the next day, negative the next day. 1 day. So what could get into your system that quickly and cause any performance enhancing, abilities? I don't know. So
that's a tough one to call. I mean, I was really happy for John Jones. I honestly thought Cormier was more focused and was gonna do well because I thought John Jones was distracted a lot. But I was happy for him when he won, and what he said after about when you mess up and let God and your family and everything down, you can still come back and win it all. It was really inspirational what John Jones said after the fight, and I was happy for him. I don't know how those tests work or how sure it is. I mean, I know lots of guys are going to use science to make them better if they can. But as far as the testing and how for sure beyond a reasonable doubt it is you can make an intelligent argument either way, maybe.
Yeah, there's been a...
What do the doctors and smart people actually say about it?
Well, the former head of USADA, Jeff Nowitzki, I think his name is, that works for the UFC now, actually believes 100%, pretty much, that John Jones got a tainted supplement. Now, they tested all his supplements, and he brung in more...
The doctor says 100%?
He said he's pretty close to 100%. He really thinks that it was a tainted supplement, and that's happened in the past.
That is possible.
It's happened a lot. Actually, Josh Barnett just got off. Josh Barnett was suspended, I think, for about a year, and they had to go back and kind of apologize to him because he gave them the list of supplements that they'd asked for. They approved everything, and then they found him positive anyways, and it was in the supplement that they had tested originally. So that's...
Yeah, that's hard. I guess that's going to be a tough science to get. I love Josh Barnett. He's a great fighter, great champion. I see him around sometimes. Jerome LeBanner brought me to school once, and I knew him from back in Seattle when I went by AMC a couple of times. And I always wish him great success.
Yeah, he used to be at AMC. Yeah, he used to be up here teaching in Seattle because he's from Seattle, like you are. Where's he teaching at now?
Well, he was with Eric Polson in Orange County. I don't know how long he likes to stay in the same place. I mean, it's a beautiful world to see. I think a lot of us fighters travel around a lot, but I haven't heard about him not being at Eric Polson's school anymore.
All right, I got a...
Eric Polson is the man, too. He's a legend in our sport.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out to him. And Matt Hume, all those old school guys.
Oh, yeah, Matt Hume, what's his name? Pat Miletich. Yeah, those...
Yeah, Pat Miletich, he's the man. I always had good memories seeing him in IFL. Him and Boss Root.
Yeah,
I saw them a lot there.
Yeah, for those people... Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Oh, I said go ahead.
Well, I trained with Matt Hume in Seattle, and Matt Hume was a really nice guy when I was training there. Team Quest was when, like, Matt Lindland really helped me get in the ring and get fights. I think Matt Hume didn't know about me that much, and he had, like, all those top fighters and everything. But Team Quest, Matt Lindland helped a lot for me getting into the ring and being confident that I'd have a shot at winning it all. What were you saying? I was just tripping on memory lane with them and seeing Pat Miletich and Boss and everyone in IFL.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to bring up the IFL. I was going to say, you really seem to turn a corner in IFL, and for those listeners that don't know, you were their middleweight champion.
Yeah, that was a beautiful night. I was really happy and thankful. Benji was knocking everyone out in like 15 seconds, and no one expected me to win by knockout at stand-up. And Benji Raddick's the man. He's a great guy, great champion. I wish him great success and victories, true romance, everything beautiful God put out there for us to discover out there and within and everything. Him and Talos Latest were probably my biggest wins. And Krzysztof Szynski was a good win because he was the main bad guy, and here comes the boom. And I got to be like the real-life Kevin James on that night against him. That was a beautiful one. I'm thankful for all the experiences, and I'd like to give it a couple more tries, and just if we can all inspire each other to keep coming back better than we were yesterday, and staying excited about life, giving our best shot, and learning the history of great inventors and the technical breakdowns of TJ Dillashaw and everyone, and the footwork they're doing, and limitless potential. Jesus is champion. God bless the multiverse.
Absolutely. Got a question from one of our viewers here. RS wants me to ask you what you think of artificial organs and body parts. Do you like the idea of a bionic human being? He says peace and love.
Well, if it can do a lot of good, if they could get the 3D print down and they can get it without having to grow a whole human or anything, or the reprogrammed cells to make it, I would say if God put that stuff in the universe for us to discover and save lives with, then we should use it for good. So hopefully the most good and the best case scenario happens. I pray for good things for the astronauts and everyone. There's some really brave and righteous people to risk their lives for pursuit of knowledge and learning about God's universe. If we live the next 15 years, we'll see if Elon Musk makes it to Mars or not with the astronauts and build some good things there. But for the organs, I mean, I would say if they could make it without making a whole person and taking it or clone or something, they should do it and save lives with it. They say they don't need the aborted fetuses or anything for stem cell research because they got the pluripotent-induced stem cells. I'm not sure, like, how if ones from embryonic stem cells are still better.
I actually know a decent amount about that because I've been looking into it for my wife. We're actually planning on going to Panama. I know we're getting off subject here, but embryonic stem cells are no longer used, and they weren't the best thing. They found now what they're doing is they're growing people's cells in their own petri dish. I'll send you an article on it on Facebook. I know you'll find it interesting.
Pluripotent-induced stem cells, where they reprogram them?
It's intravenous stem cells, so you grow your own. They grow your own stem cells in a petri dish. So you're there for like a week or so, and they take fat off your own body, like off your hind side, your rear end or whatever. And I got a little extra fat, so they probably wouldn't have too much problem with me. But yeah, and then they inject it.
That's not off topic though, because that could make organs too. Whether it's a 3D print or the cells that make them, it's still the same result. We get the organs for the people that need them. And then the Casper and Cas9 gene editing, they're saying that could make people live a long time. And it says in the Bible there'll be a time when someone 1,000 years will be thought young, and if they died before 1,000, it will be thought a tragedy and a shame they died young. So if God put the stuff in the universe for us to discover and use for good, pursuit of knowledge and the betterment of humankind, then God bless everyone doing as many good things, as many rounds won. If we start living longer, we're going to have to get smarter about things, better agriculture, and everyone not throwing their garbage everywhere like idiots.
Yeah.
Moscow up to colonize Mars. If that works.
I'm getting yelled at a little bit for getting off MMA subject, but that's all right. You brought up TJ Dillashaw, and I don't know how many people know.
Dillashaw's the man. Great champion. That was a great win against Cody Garbrandt. Now they say they're going to do the rematch. Cody Garbrandt's a great fighter, too. I mean, that one could go either way on any given night. I was hoping to see how Demetrius Johnson could do against him.
Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson, pound for pound, he may be the best fighter, but he hasn't faced an opponent like TJ Dillashaw that I see.
Yeah, that's a very interesting fight. Honestly, I think Demetrius Johnson overall is more well-rounded. I think he's the most well-rounded fighter on the planet. TJ Dillashaw.
TJ Dillashaw can wrestle too.
He can.
They're both amazing.
He definitely. But as far as TJ Dillashaw and Garbrandt, I think TJ takes that again. Honestly. I mean, Garbrandt could hit him. Garbrandt's got power. He definitely could catch him.
That's a close one because Garbrandt blocked him too, and they've both been guys that are on the top of their game. I mean, Garbrandt was the first to win a decision with Dominic Cruz. So those guys are both just top of their game, amazing fighters, and that's one of my favorite weight classes, the bantamweights. And well, to the flyweight, there's just Demetrius Johnson, who's the amazing champion, but I'd like to see him face one of those guys from bantamweights. That would be really interesting. That'd be the one. I'd be a little more excited to see that one, even though those guys are the best of the best champions fighting again. So it's going to be a great fight, but I really want to see how Demetrius Johnson would do against Cody Garbrandt or TJ Dillashaw. How to do against Dominic Cruz next time. Dominic Cruz is the best, but he's more of a counterpuncher. TJ Dillashaw seems a little more aggressive, come in and throw and counter what they throw back.
Yeah, I think he's a more entertaining fighter to me too, and that, I mean, I know that shouldn't make a difference in how we make matches, but it does, you know, in my opinion. But
everyone loves someone that comes to fight. I mean, Pacquiao's going to be a more exciting fight than Floyd Mayweather's, just the fact of the matter, usually.
Yeah.
Pacquiao, good flurries and everything. Mayweather's more just do enough to win the rounds.
Yeah.
Win enough more rounds to win the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to see Mayweather in the cage? Do you think that's a viable option?
They said it's signed and done. Do you think he would fight McGregor his first fight or someone that level, though?
Well, I don't think Conor's going to be fighting for a long time. Conor's going to be in some trouble.
Conor's level. Matt Holloway, maybe.
Honestly,
why would they?
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. I thought I wasn't sure if it was CM Punk or if it was Mayweather. I heard that they'd announced an opponent for today, but God, I listened to so much news today, and now I can't remember that one thing. I thought I wrote everything down.
It's good marketing. It'll keep us in suspense if Mayweather's going to actually have an opponent. I mean, that'd be cool if they give him an easy fight for his first fight. But the flip side to that is Conor McGregor took the top boxer for his first boxing match.
Yeah, no, and
would Floyd Mayweather take like the top guy, or would he be smart about his career and take a couple easy fights, get a feel for how to defend takedowns and kicks and everything?
Well, you know that's a whole different game. If he stepped in there with Conor in an MMA cage, I mean, he might literally kill him. I don't think that's something that should be sanctioned.
Floyd Mayweather's not really the biggest knockout Mike Tyson puncher, so the smartest thing is just to get him down and don't try to be a hero at stand-up. And he could be open to kicks too, but I'd say if you're fighting someone that is that's the best boxer, don't be a hero. Take him down. Go have a smart game plan. Show him that he's got to learn more to progress in MMA, like Randy Couture did.
Oh, yeah, again, some people forget about that fight, the James Toney Randy Couture fight. That was quite the build-up and a main event, and it all went how those of us in MMA thought it would go. It was about 2.5 minutes.
Toney's a heavy hitter with dangerous hands. You definitely don't want to stand with him. But the beautiful thing about mixed martial arts, like everyone knows, all the facets, there's so many different ways to win or lose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, I was looking for the other paper for some news here. I just seen 2 more fights announced. So Matt Brown had been out against Carlos Condit. I mean, everybody's getting injured right now, and apparently they've just announced that Alex Oliveira is going to step in against Carlos Condit and save that event. That's the card with Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier as the main event. So that.
Nice. Yeah, it'll it'll be good to see all those guys back in there.
Oh, Alex Oliveira is. I mean, he's been in so many Fight of the Nights. He seems a little small for Carlos. I don't know what he usually. I guess he did fight Cowboy recently, so maybe not. Seems like he had fought at 155 some.
Oh, what's Robbie Lawler up to these days? He's still doing good?
Well, he lost to RDA, so Rafael Dos Anjos, so he's kind of got to get to the back of the line for a little while.
Yeah, well, it's hard for anyone to stay on top forever. There's a lot of people that are hungry to be the champion, a lot of great athletes in the world. It's hard to be the number one millionaire rock star champion, and Robbie Lawler won the belt, defended it a while, did a lot better than most of us.
Oh yeah, man, you're the same age as I am, I think, and I swear I was watching him in high school. It must have been right after high school, because he must have started at like 16, 17 years old, and he was in the UFC. That guy's been around forever.
Yeah, he's had a great career. It's hard to say, like, how long you want to keep fighting, and like a lot of people don't realize what Muhammad Ali had is a lot genetically inherited. Michael J. Fox has the same thing and never fought a day in his life, just as messed up from it. Parkinson's disease. You can make an intelligent argument either way how much fighting caused it. But you hear Mark Hunt and a lot of the guys or read about him that say like their speech is messed up from it.
Yeah, Mark Hunt said a lot of that stuff was exaggerated, but you know who's really suffered is Big Daddy Gary Goodridge. He's a great guy, and man, he's unfortunately had a lot of issues with TBI.
Well, it's a matter of how many times do you want to get knocked out before you rethink life if you can't figure out how not to get knocked out. Now, thank God I've only been knocked out once so far in Korea, and I didn't really train for that fight. I was working a regular job, and then I popped my ribs trying to get some extra rounds in jiu-jitsu. And, it was just an awkward, stupid fight against a really great fighter and opponent. But if I get knocked out, I'd say I got like a couple times at least before I got to step back and say, all right, stupid, if you can't not get knocked out, you're going to have to save your brain cells.
Have you been talking to anybody about a fight?
You call it a career, though, before you step back. Well, I'm thinking get a decent savings together towards getting a farm and meeting a nice girl, trying to inspire and educate kids and do good things. And then think about putting a decent training camp together to do another fight. I'd like to work on a couple more movies, too. I enjoy doing that. Thinking how you can do movie fight scenes and how all that stuff works. And
yeah.
It's cool to have a reality TV show of MMA fighters that follow in the great inventor's footsteps on a farm and show that all things are possible to them who believe through hard work and wise investments.
Man, if you could make a reality show on the MMA farm with comic books, I'll definitely watch, man.
Yeah, it could be beautiful. Yeah, the superheroes, they do a lot of good and inspire people. Sam Childers, he's like a real-life superhero to me. They made a movie about him called Machine Gun Preacher, and he went to Africa and had to get guns to keep the kids from being abducted. And he's doing good things there, getting farms and restaurants for the people to be able to have businesses and own their land. And so those guys, I think their story should be told like the real heroes in the world with fictional superheroes that inspire us in art and everything.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anybody who hasn't seen that movie, Machine Gun Preacher, go out and take care of that right away. That is one of the most inspiring movies I've ever seen. Just to give people a little bit of a background, it was about a missionary, right, that went in, and these guys kept on getting robbed by the guerrillas and things, and he brought in ammo and machine guns and helped take over the guerrilla and free the city, or free the area.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. They were abducting the kids. They took some of the kids from the parents and everything, and he had to get guns and people had a problem with it. And he said, "Well, if your kid would you care how I got your kid back?"
Yeah, very very inspiring story and true story, of course. So.
Yeah, that's a real hero there. There's new things on YouTube I've seen where it talks about what he's doing there now. The churches are getting farms for the people and restaurants and teaching the women how to be able to cook omelets and everything and have where they own the restaurants and businesses and land. And it'd be great to see more people doing stuff like that in the world. God bless the real heroes out there.
Absolutely. And
doing good things.
yeah, absolutely. And we want to talk about another cowboy. I want to announce another fight. If everybody hasn't heard it coming up, the main event for UFC Fight Night 132 in Singapore is going to be Leon Edwards and Donald Cowboy Cerrone. So that's going to be a great fight.
Oh, nice.
Edwards is.
Yeah, I like Cowboy. He is a farm, doesn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely an old farm boy. Leon Edwards, a lot of people look past him, and maybe not a lot of people know who he is. But he's on a 5-fight win streak. He finished Peter Sabata and Albert Tumanov in those 5 fights. So, I mean, he better not take him sleeping.
Yeah. Well, the competition's always getting tougher and tougher. People learn from the champions before and find a way to decode them.
Got a question from somebody where you're living now. You're in Orange County, right?
Yeah, I live in Laguna Beach in Orange County. Saving up money towards getting a farm. Right now, I got about 10,000 saved towards getting a farm and investing in land. There's places here you could get for like 20 grand, but they say you can make 25 grand working just a couple months on the fishing boats. So if I did a couple seasons there, then invest it wisely and figure out the next things I want to cross off my list in life, film a couple more movies, do a couple more fights, take mechanical engineering, learn how to follow in the great inventors' footsteps, inspire the next superheroes and champions and inventors.
Yeah, well,
so that's pretty much my plan. That's where I'm at in the multiverse now.
Well, very good. Best of luck to you. Like I said, hopefully we'll meet up. I don't know how long you're going to come up, but I'll contact you later. I definitely want to take you out to dinner, and I actually know a couple of the fisheries are out here, some of the boat companies, so I can maybe give you a good idea of a few people to talk to.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be an awesome spiritual journey. I should be heading up next weekend, but I'm stopping in Oregon on the way. God bless and thoughts and prayers. My mom's recovering from a stroke, and my parents both have had that. They're not like the most athletic people, my mom or dad. So I'm going to try to tell her she's got to make steps towards getting back out of the bed. I was telling him that, and my stepdad got kind of pissy and said it's easier to say from the sidelines, and I realize that's true. And he's right, but also it's the truth and has to be said.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope she's able to, turn things around and start eating healthier and exercise. Obviously, nobody better than you to teach her about that.
Well, yeah, good water and good hydration and vegetables. That's important for kids and old people. Old people kids think they know it all, but sometimes old people think we know it all too, and it's both. So God bless. I mean, I'm thankful I've had my mom this long. I know a lot of people lose their parents younger and everything, and God bless everyone giving our best shot and staying healthy, doing as many good things, and being inspired by all the heroes and the hero of heroes.
Absolutely, man. Before I let you go, if I get one more question from you, one of our listeners wants to know, what movies were you in?
I was in American Muscle. That was a good film. It had Todd Farmers was the main bad guy, and he did Jason X with Jason Voorhees in space, and Nick Cage, Drive Angry. Wrote both of those and did cameos in it. And my buddy Nick Principe was the main character in it, and he goes back to get revenge for everything and when they release him, and Then I was in Savage Dog with Scott Adkins, and I did that fight scene. The fight scene I did in American Muscle, we choreographed one. It was a better fight scene. The fight scene in Savage Dog, Mayhem Miller and everyone did a great fight scene. But my part, I was mostly just wanted to throw something together to make the star look good, let him get out of the necktie, and do his fight scene. I mean, Scott Adkins is great at doing fight scenes, and great actors. And I did Orphan Killer too, Bound by Blood, but it hasn't got released yet. Hard to say how good that one will turn out. But Matt Farnsworth's a great director and everything. And, I wish I would have done better in the fight scene with Nick Principe and listened to what Nick Principe was saying because he knew more about it. But I thought, like, if you make a little bit of contact, I had good enough control and stuff, and it's better just to exaggerate them and not make contact. You learn, like, on your punches and stuff, so it looked like bullshit punches. So everyone, you can learn from my mistake if you do a fight scene. It's not like a real fight. Just throw, like, big, exaggerated, good enough one for the scene.
Yeah, I've always wondered why more fighters... I've always wondered why more fighters aren't in movies, but they're starting to get in there for sure. Well, hey, man,
it's just a learning process, just learning new things, coming back better than we were yesterday, every day, and trial and error, learning from our mistakes, and that's how good progression for humankind happens, in pursuit of knowledge and betterment for humankind. Jesus is champion. God bless everyone giving our best shot, and as many good things happening in rounds one. Inspire and educate together. John Goodenough invented the lithium-ion battery, made our smartphones and everything possible. It's got a carbon anode, repulses the electrons to the lithium cathode that attracts them, a positive charge, usually another electrolyte between. He's 95 years old now, about to come out with a battery that holds 5 times the charge, they say, a solid-state battery.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so...
he's a good man, does a lot of good with the churches in Texas and everything, and one of the greatest inventors in history, lithium-ion battery. Well, greatest in history is a stretch, but still a lithium-ion battery changed the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, man, I want to let you go. I know you're busy. Thanks for having me on here. Hopefully, like I said, we need to get together next Saturday. I got your phone number. You got my number.
Well, I'm leaving then, but I'm stopping for a couple days to see my mom on the way. So probably won't make it there till like Wednesday or something. By the time I get through going to visit with my parents.
Okay. Well, whatever works for you.
Wednesday,
yeah.
Something like
that. My schedule's pretty free. I never work past 1:30, so it's pretty good.
I'm thinking about hanging out a week and getting caught up with old friends and everything, and it'll be a beautiful experience, beautiful journey. I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll let you know when I get there.
All right, sounds good, man. All right.
Well, God bless. I wish you a beautiful night, you and your family, and everyone, true romance and great victories and good success. Everything great God put out there for us.
All right. Thanks again, man. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right. God bless the multiverse.
I know he can ramble on a little bit, guys, and unfortunately, that's a little bit of why I had him on this week. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but my voice is dying, and I want to have something left for Saturday, so he saved me a little bit of time there. Yeah, he's always got to do the damn multiverse. Well, you know, if he can get me into a damn movie, I'll be happy. He's a super good guy. But yeah, a lot of news out there. Jesus, Alex Oliveira taking over for Matt Brown against Carlos Condit, and then Cowboy Cerrone versus Leon Edwards. A lot of crazy stuff. I heard you guys talking about Khabib and Askren. We'll have to see if he gets past Max Holloway, but I like that fight. I don't know if it's the most entertaining fight, but I think it's definitely competitive. And yeah, I think Askren's got a shot. I think he's got a similar wrestling style. Just drowns people like Khabib. Jason says, so you don't want to see who's the best if you just want to see exciting matchups? I want to see that fight. I'll watch it for sure. Absolutely. Did you guys see Cinco de Mayo? Sounds like it's off. I don't know what they're going to have going on for it, but the Triple G Canelo Alvarez fight is officially off. They've been refunding tickets as of about a week ago, I think, a little less than a week ago. So I knew it was probably coming. And then it was either late last night or early this morning, they officially announced that it was going to be canceled and they'll be looking for a new opponent for Triple G. Yeah, he's always an entertaining one, man. Yeah, I would love to see that too. I'd love to see Askren versus Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's a high Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I don't imagine that Askren comes in to fight anybody unless he thinks he's fighting the best, though. Askren versus Ferguson, that's the fight. Cesares, yeah, I agree. That would be amazing. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Triple G and who he's going to be fighting now. Looks like it's not going to be on Cinco de Mayo, though. Since the Athletic Commission, it was so close to the date, they had to cancel it. They're looking for a new opponent for Canelo Alvarez. They had put a few people out there. I don't think they had officially offered anyone a contract. Adam, this game is about connection, sir. And I know him from another connection who has a lot of connections. And don't hold me to this, but this other connection just texted me today and said he's talking to none other than Daniel Cormier, and he thinks he might be able to get him on the show, and he'll let me know by Sunday. That's why you keep connections with people. Hey, he was a lot nicer to me than old Smelwany. Oh, Velwany, excuse me. One of my deep connections was a guy that you guys said was boring. Was Ian Brewster. He knows a lot of guys in the MMA world. I don't want to say too much about that, but just of what he's already went on about. He's still deep in the MMA world, probably the biggest face in Canada still, even though he's working for a financial institution. Used to be head of the WFA over there. I believe it was the biggest league in Canada. So, he's the one who started hooking me up with fighters. A few fighters I made through those connections, and then a few people from you guys. I got help from one of the viewers on Luke Kumo, and trying to think who the other one is. Sam Alvey. I just reached out to him. That was crazy. Super nice guy. Paul Felder and Elia Quinta. That is a freaking crazy fight. Yeah, that is like even odds. There's so many fights on this card that are almost even odds. Man, if I had to bet on it, I guess I'd go with Felder, but it's so close. Either one of these guys could take each other out. So that I'm definitely really looking forward to this card. And then of course, Joanna and Rose Thug Rose. I've been watching the UFC Embedded on that. Intense training on both sides. I think Joanna comes in with a better game plan. She's already on weight. Alright guys, well I apologize. I'm going to cut this short so I have some voice left for Saturday. I've been sick as hell. I actually missed like 4 days of work, and I never miss work. So I got a throat infection, an ear infection, temperature, and coughing my guts out. So thanks for sticking through that one with me. Love y'all. I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'm going to start, so I want to get some rest. I'm going to start from the prelims that Conor just effed up, because I was looking forward to that Alex Caceres versus Artem Loba fight. But fuck, it is what it is. Yeah, that one pissed me off. But yeah, I think it's like 3:35. Pretty sure it's 3:35. I'll throw some picks out there this week, and 3:35 Pacific. So I'll stream all the way through like 13 fights. Cap F Conor and all his fans. Yeah, it's hard to have any sympathy for him right now. Stream the Bellator fights. I think Kendo is headlining. That's tomorrow, right? What's up, comedic genius? Hi, man. Tell your girlfriend I said hi. You should take her out for some KFC. The Russian, he's been studying. He's not the Russian. He's the he's over there in Amsterdam. But the Dutch guy, and I got to get a hold of him soon, actually. So, but like I said, thanks again, everybody. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, I'll do Bellator on Friday too. So let's plan on that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.